All right, in this video, we'll be talking about planning your first trip to Costa Rica. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jason, and on our first trip to Costa Rica, we had a hard time finding any videos on YouTube that were really very helpful in planning the details of a trip. Lots of videos on how beautiful Costa Rica is, but really just lacking the videos that would provide the details we needed to think through planning a good trip to Costa Rica. So after our first trip, we decided to take the cinematic footage that we had shot in Costa Rica and all the research that we had done on the various aspects of traveling in Costa Rica, put together the videos that we wished that we had had on our first trip. And so by the end of this video, the hopes is that you'll have a really good jump start on how to think through planning a trip to Costa Rica. Again, this is part 1 of 3 videos that'll help you think through planning your first trip to Costa Rica. So let's get started. The first thing to think through as it relates to planning a trip to Costa Rica is the best time to visit. And you'll find all kinds of opinions online. What this really boils down to is it's up to you. It's a personal preference. There's different reasons to visit the country at different times of the year. Here's a couple of things to think through. The first is the rainy season, and the second is the tourist season. The rainy season and the tourist season really mirror one another. When there's lots of rain, there's not lots of tourists. When there's not lots of Costa Rica in general is about 8 degrees from the equator, depending on where in Costa Rica you are. But what that means is that there's not a lot of variation. It's not like there's a true winter in Costa Rica. They basically have a dry season and a rainy season. The dry season in Costa Rica is going to be December through April. This is really the best time to go if you're wanting to do outdoor activities, beach locations, and in all honesty, that is a lot of the reason to go to Costa Rica. This is also why that December to April is also the high tourist season. And so if you're visiting, the dry season when it's going to rain less is also the time when there's going to be more people there. The rainy season isn't all bad. From May through November is considered the rainy season in Costa Rica. There's a shoulder season in there on the borders of those months, but it's helpful to think through just the reality that one of the most beautiful memories we have from a trip to Costa Rica is when it was raining while we were on the beach and we were just sitting under the umbrella on our beach chairs and going out in the rain, in the water. It's not uncomfortable to get rained on in Costa Rica. When there's a lot of rain, there's not a lot of people. When there's not a lot of rain, there's going to be a lot of tourists, and you're going to share the country with other people. Here's kind of how those things pan out though. If you just kind of look at a chart that shows you when it rains more and when it rains less, and we line that up with a chart of when there's more tourists and when there's less tourists, that kind of shows you a little bit about how they overlap. We love to go to Costa Rica in June. Part of that is that's when our anniversary is, and so we love to celebrate our anniversary in Costa Rica. One final thought on the best time to visit is just to think through festivals and holidays in Costa Rica. It's just good to be aware of when those things are, because you may want to plan your trip to avoid them, or you may want to plan your trip to actually be there for some of those things. So for example, you've got Fiestas de Palmares. This is 2 weeks in January, and something that you might want to consider either avoiding or being there for. Semana Santa, or Holy Week, this is going to be late March or early April, and this is when the locals take their vacation. And so you can even see there are some YouTubers who have been there during that time and had a hard time with finding a good location.
Let me read you this text that we got from the rental company this morning. We wanted to remind you that the next 3 or 4 days are some of the most busy holidays of the year. This makes everything a little more crowded, also campsites. Pretty much anywhere you drive is going to take twice as long. They were definitely right about that. Getting here was only supposed to take about an hour and a half, and it took 4.
Because everybody in Costa Rica is off of work and on vacation, and so if you're there during that time, that could be really exciting. It could also present some challenges. So thinking through the various festivals and holidays in Costa Rica is just one thing to be aware of as you're planning your trip. The second thing to be aware of is choosing an airport. Your 2 basic options, San Jose or Liberia Airport. And just kind of thinking through the pros and cons of each one of those airports can be helpful. You may not have a choice. Your departure airport might only fly into San Jose. If that's the case, then there you go. Your decision might already be made for you. But if you've got the option to fly into either San Jose or Liberia, it's good to consider the pros and cons of each one of those. San Jose is the capital city of Costa Rica. It is pretty much smack dab in the center of the country, and so depending upon where you're planning on going, that may be where you want to fly into just for the sake of geographic location. But the ongoing joke about San Jose Airport is that the best thing to do in San Jose is leave. Flights into San Jose Airport are usually cheaper. You can get them less expensive, but then actual transportation in and out of the city of San Jose is usually going to be more expensive. San Jose is central, so the challenge that presents if you're going to beach location is that it puts you basically 3 hours from the beach, no matter which coast you're going to. Now, if you're going to the Caribbean coast, you probably want to fly into San Jose Airport. That's just as close as you're gonna get. But if you're going to the Pacific coast, it's very likely you're gonna want to consider Liberia. Liberia is a small town, small roads, small airport in the northwest of Costa Rica. So that really puts you in a perfect location if you're planning on visiting Guanacaste. Liberia Airport is unofficially referred to as Guanacaste Airport for this reason. It just puts you a good distance. Some of the beaches in Guanacaste are only 30 minutes away from the airport. Some of them an hour, hour and a half. Puts you good and close to a lot of the beachfront destinations in Guanacaste. While flights into Liberia can be a little bit more expensive than flying into San Jose, it's just so much closer. And the reality is there's a lot of pros of flying into Liberia Airport if you can. Rental cars are going to be less expensive and just easier to get because it's just a smaller airport. We're talking about, I mean, as soon as you leave the airport, you pull off onto a 2-lane rural road that is just not a very busy part of town. And Liberia Airport is just a smaller airport, so it's just easier to get in and out of than flying in and out of San Jose, where everything's a lot bigger, a lot more traffic, busier city, bigger airport, busier airport. But ultimately the biggest factor when considering whether to fly into San Jose or Liberia is going to be just geographic location on which part of Costa Rica you're planning on visiting. And that might be a good reason to check out our planning video on using the drift method. You'll have a really good jump start on how to think through planning a trip to Costa Rica. The third consideration on planning your first trip to Costa Rica is transportation. Just thinking about how you're going to get around once you get into the country. Some of this is just going to depend on what you're planning on doing. But you basically got 4 options when it comes to transportation within Costa Rica. The first is Uber. Uber is, for the record, technically illegal in the country of Costa Rica. Somehow, Uber is able to operate in spite of being illegal in Costa Rica.
My lord, is that legal?
I will make it legal.
And yet there are constant problems with this. And so this is going to be lower on the list of good options just for that reason. There's often police crackdowns on Ubers. There's even been reported violence against Uber drivers. Uber is a complicated situation in Costa Rica. It might be good to avoid it just for that reason, or for the simple fact that it's against the law for Uber to operate in Costa Rica. The second option is public transportation, and this is just to say buses. There are bus routes that go all over the country. Whether you're in San Jose or Liberia, you're going to be able to get a bus to go to where you need to go. There's extensive coverage of the buses. It's extremely inexpensive, but it is also extremely unreliable. That's just kind of a difficult situation with the buses in Costa Rica. Just because it says a bus is going to be there at a particular time doesn't mean that it's going to. In fact, it doesn't mean that the bus is going to show up at all that day. And there's no apparent rhyme or reason for why this is. If you're really flexible and you love the adventure of that might turn out to be a good option for you just because it is so inexpensive to take the buses. But if you've got a limited amount of time in the country and you really want to maximize that time, the buses probably aren't going to be the best option for you. If you're a woman traveling alone, if you're traveling as a family, traveling with children, the buses might not be a good option for you for that reason. Third option for transportation within the country of Costa Rica is going to be personal shuttle services, or sometimes referred to as a personal transfer or private transfer. This is going to be one of the more expensive options, but it's also just extremely reliable. It's good to know exactly when you're going to be picked up, exactly when you're going to be dropped off, and I'll have all those things dialed in ahead of time. It's going to be much more comfortable. It's going to be door-to-door service, but it's going to be much more expensive as well. Another one of the challenges of using a private transfer like this is once they drop you off, you're kind of stranded there, so to speak. If they drop you off at your hotel, then you're stuck at your hotel unless you pay again a private transfer to take you to another destination. So if you're going to an all-inclusive resort, that might be exactly what you're looking for. And you could look into a private transfer shuttle either personally, or a lot of the times you can book this directly through the hotel or the resort that you're going to be staying at. You might want to reach out to them and ask. They could make a good recommendation for that. Fourth and final option for transportation inside the country of Costa Rica is just getting a rental car. This is, in my personal opinion, the best option, just because it provides you the most freedom, provides you the opportunity to be able to go where you want, when you want to, and in a lot of cases is going to be less expensive or the same price as booking a private transfer, but then also allow you, if you want to go from your hotel to a local restaurant and go check out the local scene, just gives you the freedom to be able to do that and be a little bit more on your own schedule. 3 more things to think through as you plan your first trip to Costa Rica: how to think through top destinations, how to budget for your trip, and how to stay safe in Costa Rica. We'll talk through those things on our next video, part 2 of how to plan your first trip to Costa Rica. Hope you have a great trip.